Hello everyone. This is a presentation of SGD 11's Public Health Lecture that was held on Feb 17 in a public elementary school. It was entitled Sa Purga at Kalinisan, Bulate ay Maiiwasan, focusing the lecture on soil-transmitted helminthiasis. As introduction, we focused on helminths that are more common in etiology in the Philippines. First, what is soil-transmitted helminthiasis? Over one-third of the world's human population have disease caused by soil-transmitted helminths. It refers to the intestinal worms infecting humans that are transmitted through contaminated soil. Some examples of these intestinal worms are the whipworm, the roundworm, and hookworms. Collectively, these form the major species of STH, which commonly parasitized humans and are considered NTDs, or neglected tropical diseases. In the Philippines, STHs remain a major public health issue, particularly among school-aged children, reportedly as high as 67% back in 2001. The group's instructional design. We held the lecture at Camaman-an Elementary School in Cagayan de Oro on February 17, 2020, to a class of grade 3 students, their parents, and the school's canteen staff. We prepared games and activities for the children and gave an interactive lecture with brochures for the adults. 2 separate lectures were held. Our primary objective for the PHL was to be able to impart increased awareness on soil-transmitted helminthiasis to our participants. Some of our minor objectives were, number 1, to determine 3 major causes of intestinal parasitism in the Philippines. Number 2, to determine effects of STH to human health. And number 3, to discuss treatment, prevention, and control of STH infection. We had several meetings for advanced preparations, such as distribution of tasks, purchasing of materials, researching contents for our brochure, and organizing the flow of activities for the lecture. As part of our care package for the kids and the parents, we included mini hand soaps and towels. This was to further underline the importance of hand washing to prevent contraction of the helminth. We also purchased snacks, fruit drinks, and some prizes for our games. For the lecture proper, we prepared a PowerPoint presentation in Bisaya and made recall fun by asking questions after each slide and giving out a prize. We also had a mini quiz at the end, structured into a game, to check how well the kids understood the lecture. After the lecture, we explained to the children how to properly wash their hands. The application was made even more fun when they got to use the tools inside their care packages, and were handed out yummy snacks to eat. We held a second lecture for the parents and the school's canteen staff. It was interesting to note that the adults had a lot of questions for us, which was an indication they were genuinely interested to learn more about prevention. In the brochure we handed out to the adults, we included information such as transmission and signs and symptoms to watch out for in case of infection. We were grateful to have been given a chance to share what we have learned in school, along with practical applications in everyday lives with the little ones as well as the adults. The next few slides are some concept maps to explain some clinical manifestations in a helminth infection. Some signs and symptoms and complications that one can experience with ascaris are shortness of breath, bowel infarction, intestinal perforation, colicky abdominal pain, pancreatitis, and appendicitis. For hookworm, abdominal pain, steatorrhea, and diarrhea may be experienced. One can also have an increased likelihood of acquiring iron deficiency anemia or microcytic hypochromic anemia. Lastly, for trichuris trichura, the following pathophysiology explains why we see petechial hemorrhage, hematochezia, which is a passage of fresh blood in the anus with or without stools, anemia, and abdominal pain in a patient infected with a whipworm. The patient may also present with weakness, malaise, and loss of appetite. Thank you so much for your time.